Hi, my name is Amanda and I'm an RN psychotherapist. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about what it looks like when you get triggered, when you have a core belief that you're unlovable. So the thought that you're unlovable comes again from your childhood, from trauma that has occurred when you were a kid, where maybe you were abused, neglected, or maybe you just didn't get enough attention at times from your parents because they were busy with other things. But still, this thought that I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, will live within you. So as we age, we become adults that seek validation, that we're lovable and that we're worthy from others. So some of the ways that this manifests include people pleasing, which looks like inauthenticity. This could happen with your boss or somebody in a position of authority, or even in your intimate relationship, where you don't fully share yourself with them. You aren't fully who you are. Maybe you change who you are or try to be like someone you think that they want you to be. Another area that it manifests would be in your intimate relationships or even in your professional relationships as overgiving. So that's doing more than you want to do, or you're doing so in order for it to be reciprocated. However, that's not happening. So when you continue to give or overgive in a relationship and you want that equality, it puts the other person here and you here, which will further make you feel unlovable. And it is quite heartbreaking, actually. Now, can you give more than others in relationships and it not be unhealthy? And the answer to that is yes. Parents do that, of course. And there's charity as well. So when you have a lot and you want to share, then yeah, sure, go ahead and give. But most of the time, overgiving happens in relationships where you want that equality. So if you're in a relationship, especially like a partnership, you want that person to give what you give. However, you will overgive because of this thought, I'm afraid that they'll leave me or they'll not love me. Other areas that it manifests is in poor boundaries. So this is not being able to say no and not accepting no's as well. So there's this mirroring effect that I've talked about before in psychology, where if you can't say no, you expect other people not to be able to say no. So this again comes down to this idea that you take responsibility for other people's emotions and then you expect them to take responsibility for yours. So maybe that's you don't want to go to a party and your friend really wants you to go. If you are to go to that party, it is guaranteed that if a situation arises and you have a friend that says, no, I don't really feel like going, you will be hurt. You will feel like they don't care. And it's again because you are expecting them to take responsibility for your emotions, because that's what you do for them. You would do that for them. So we're going to look also at rescuing. So rescuing is, again, taking responsibility for other people's emotions if someone else is hurt, going to great lengths to fix their problems, not allowing them to take responsibility for when they've been triggered. And yeah, those are the main ones we're going to cover today. There's a book called Codependent No More that has some more ways of codependency. There's quite a few. But again, we're looking at that core belief, I'm not lovable and I'm not worthy, and then that manifesting in our relationships where we're seeking for validation that we are lovable, and we're seeing the world from this lens to try to find ways that we're not lovable. It's a protective factor to try to protect us from heartache and from being abandoned or being left. So what to do about it? The thing to do about it is self-observation. So in my previous video, we talked about how to deal with being triggered. This is a trigger. This is probably the most common trigger, this thought that I'm not enough. So looking at your own thoughts and bringing awareness to them without judgment, with seeing your innocence, seeing that it's not your fault that you have this core belief. It's not your fault that, you had a parent abandon you, or you were abused, or you had a sibling that was disabled and your parents couldn't give you the affection and attention that you required when you needed it. Whatever the reason, you are completely innocent and it is not your fault. So we're starting from a place of not judgment for having these thoughts and these behaviors. And then we can start to release them. So meditation, journaling, and as well contemplative prayer are all great ways to start working through this. Journaling would look like looking at the trigger and then kind of writing out the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you'd experienced when that situation happened. And then looking at, okay, what is the truth of this situation? What is another way of perceiving this? Is this actually true, my experience? And again, we'll go back to, there's two expressions. There's love and call for love. So if someone's calling for love, that's just what it is. And whether or not you're affected by it or hurt by it will be dependent on whether or not you've healed this core belief that you're unlovable. And we want to get you to a place where, you are invulnerable to other people's emotions. That doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean you don't have compassion. But no longer will you suffer because other people are triggered. And I'm going to leave it at that for this video. And I wish you peace. And I am, again, Amanda Heinley, and I'm an RN psychotherapist. Feel free to check out my website at heinleyrn.ca, and I wish you peace.